Welcome. Today we're doing a tech deep dive into the Hospitality and Travel Profile Standard. You'll hear it called HATPro. We're going to get right into the nuts and bolts of a standard that could fundamentally change how you manage traveler data and, more importantly, the massive liability that comes with it.
So this is really the central question, isn't it? It's what every leader in our industry is wrestling with right now. How do you create those incredible, truly personalized experiences for customers while at the same time navigating the huge regulatory and governance risks of holding all their sensitive data? Because let's be honest, if you get this wrong, you're facing a lot more than just a bad review.
The solution we're going to explore today isn't about building yet another proprietary walled garden. Not at all. It's about establishing a common language, a truly open standard. So let's unpack the technology behind the standard and what it really means for the future of your organization.
Okay, let's start by framing the problem we all know so well. The current state of traveler data is, well, it's fundamentally broken. It's fragmented, it's scattered across countless systems, and that creates some serious operational friction and poses some pretty scary legal and compliance challenges.
This slide really shows the shift in a nutshell. On the left, you've got the world we live in now, where every single company holds its own small and, let's face it, often inaccurate piece of the puzzle. Now look at the right. In this new model, the traveler themselves controls their own complete data, and they grant you temporary purpose-driven access. This isn't just a small step forward, it's a fundamental flip of the entire data ownership model.
So what is HATPro exactly? Look, it is absolutely crucial to understand that this is not another app, it's not another platform, it's not a new digital wallet. Think of it more like the foundational rulebook, the protocol for how a traveler's data will actually be exchanged between their AI agent and your systems.
And the core concept here is the self-attested traveler profile. This is all the information the traveler declares about themselves. Their preferences, their needs, their dietary constraints. It's a vital companion to official verifiable documents, like a passport, not a replacement for them. That distinction is key.
This quote from Neil Thompson just cuts right to the heart of it. While, yeah, the data structure matters, the real focus of HATPro is defining the interchange. It's all about creating that common language so that a traveler's personal AI agent can communicate seamlessly with a hotel's booking engine, or a restaurant's reservation system, or an airline's ancillary platform. All right, so how does this actually work under the hood? I mean, the data model itself has to be pretty sophisticated to capture the real-world complexity of a human being's preferences, right?
Well, instead of using a rigid, folder-like tree structure, HATPro uses what's called an acyclic graph. Now, that sounds technical, but it just means it provides incredible flexibility. An item can exist in multiple categories at once. For instance, shellfish can be categorized under seafood as a preference, something you like, but it can also be categorized under allergen as a critical requirement. That allows for so much more nuance than a simple hierarchy ever could.
And the information inside that graph is organized into three key patterns. First, you've got preferences, your simple likes and dislikes. Then you have constraints, things you can do but with certain limitations, like a specific diet. And finally, you have requirements. These are the absolute non-negotiables, like needing wheelchair access or having a critical food allergy. And here is where the model gets really, really smart. It actually adapts its scoring mechanism based on the context. So for preferences, it uses this flexible scale from -100 to +100, which lets a user rank dozens of things relative to each other. But for health risks, like allergies, it switches to a totally rigid and unambiguous severity scale. This kind of contextual intelligence is what makes it so powerful. Now, the technical backbone that makes all of this interoperability possible is JSON and JSON Schema. For all the CTOs and architects watching, this is the crucial point. It's built on modern, lightweight, and universally understood web standards. That's what ensures that any compliant system can interpret the data without any ambiguity, everyone speaking the exact same language. So, a fair question is anyone actually going to fill all this out? And the answer is no. The standard isn't designed for a person to sit down and manually complete some massive form. It's designed for AI agents to progressively build this rich profile over time, asking clarifying questions in context, learning from your behavior, and populating all this stuff in the background. Okay, let's make this really tangible with a real-world example that affects pretty much every traveler, finding a place to eat. Just look at this flow. The traveler's AI agent starts by using the profile to run a complex multi-criteria search. Then, and this is so important, it selectively discloses only the relevant data, just the food preferences and allergies to potential restaurants. The agent gets back personalized offers, maybe adds its own helpful context, and then facilitates a completely seamless booking. The real magic here is that this all happens without the traveler ever filling out a single form for that restaurant. So let's zoom out for a second. For you, as a technology and strategy leader in your company, what is the single most crucial takeaway from all of this?
Well, adopting a standard like HATPro directly addresses 4 key strategic imperatives. First, it fundamentally mitigates your risk. It shifts the liability of holding sensitive data away from your servers. For your CISO and your legal team, that's huge. Second, it unlocks a whole new world of hyper-personalized services and revenue streams. Third, you are future-proofing your architecture for the inevitable age of AI agents. And finally, because it's an open standard, it prevents vendor lock-in and encourages broad, ecosystem-wide innovation.
You know, this transition from siloed company data to portable, user-controlled profiles, it really isn't a question of if, it's a question of when. The underlying technologies are here, they're maturing, and this shift is already starting to happen. The time to start assessing your own data architecture and planning for this new decentralized ecosystem is right now.